Okay, class. Well, it's our second to last week in class. It's April 25th, and there isn't a lot on the program this week as far as content goes. You're just learning about video editing, and but the reason why that is because it's going to take a lot of time for you to go through to do all the work that you need to do on your own to make your video happen and finish it in time for next week's requirements. So if you look at next week, basically all that week has in it is you need to submit the video project. This week, basically all you have is to watch presentations on video editing, and you'll notice here that there are some about Windows Movie Maker and some about iMovie for Mac users. So if you're a Windows user, I do suggest getting on Windows Movie Maker and using that. If you are a Mac user, it's better. Obviously, you can't use Windows Movie Maker, but you'll have to use iMovie, which is one that I'm not as familiar with, but you'll want to be able to become familiar with that and use that for your video editing. Give yourself time to do this. It will take probably longer to edit the video and finish it than it will probably to shoot the video. So these videos that I'm providing to you, these presentations, will give you some intro and some basics, but there may be more that you need to do to complete your video, and so that's why I'm telling you to please ask questions. If you have something that you want to be able to do, something's not working right, I'll try to get back to you as quick as I can. Email me and let's get it worked out, but leave yourself time in order to get all this done. Hopefully you are to the point where you can very soon start editing your video and have everything shot very soon, so that you can get through these presentations and do video editing, especially if you haven't had experience with video editing before. And this is the part of the class that concerns me a little bit if you don't have that experience, because it's going to take a while to get through some of these tutorials and some of these items. And some are from me, but some are from elsewhere as well. And so that's what we have for video editing learning this week. But I did want to give a parting presentation as well. And this gives us an opportunity to kind of recap what we've been learning through this class. This is a class on multimedia design and development. And it's not necessarily about multimedia for learning, although most of you have applied it in that area, and I think that that's a good thing. So multimedia, what is it? And if we look, we can split the word into two different sections, multi and media. So multi, of course, means many or more than one, and media means ways of communication or ways of transmission. And so medium would be singular, so we have media, which is the plural of medium. So it's many ways of transmission. So for instance, a video project is multimedia because you have audio sound in it and you also have video to watch, so it's being transmitted in multiple ways as an example. But you have different types of media that can be included as well, including text or sound or graphics or moving pictures. And hopefully through this class experience you've learned a little bit about how to generate some of these media items, and also about what it means to go through the process of generating these and what it takes to create media. So if we look at the full definition here, it's a combination of text, moving pictures, graphics, audio in a consumable format. So you have to, with media, with multimedia, you have to create whatever it is you create to be able to be consumed for others, so others can consume this format or this media in a way that's easy for them. And as we went through the semester, we've done different projects. We've done an audio podcast project. We've done a video project, or well, you will have done one. We've done some text and graphics and so forth, and those are the different media areas that we can focus on when we talk about multimedia. And as a reminder of some of the things we've learned about, there's the big media, or old mass media, and these types of media are decreasing a little bit in our society today, but they come from large organizations such as Disney, Time Warner, Viacom, and CBS. and large audiences. These organizations like Disney will not touch anything unless it can be submitted or, I guess, distributed to a very large audience. And so it's anonymous and homogeneous, meaning that the same Star Wars movie that you watched, I watched as well. There's nothing that's personal about it. It's all the same for everybody. It's a great movie. Don't get me wrong there, but it is anonymous and homogeneous. And it's simultaneous delivery. In other words, the consumer has to alter their lifestyle to view this item. So think TV versus Netflix. You have TV where you have to go at 9 o'clock to watch it. If you want to watch your favorite NCIS movie or whatever, you have to be there at that time. So you alter your lifestyle in order to make sure that you can make it to that. You can't go fishing during that time because you need to see the latest episode or whatever it is. By contrast, we have small and new media, and this is kind of different. Consumers in this realm are producers. This is where we're moving toward. We're moving away from the big media thing, although it continues to be a part of our life. But with small new media, consumers are producers. And so maybe before this class, you were only a consumer of multimedia. You only watched or listened to it. But now you've learned to create it, produce it. And almost anyone can develop and distribute content now, especially with the rise of the internet. And there's this concept too of narrowcasting as opposed to broadcasting. Narrowcasting means consumers get more say and access what they want. So think of Netflix again, although Netflix is getting bigger and bigger. But think about that. You get more say and access what you want. You can watch, for instance, whatever episode you want to on Netflix whenever you want to. You don't have to show up at 8 a.m. or 9 p.m. or whatever time. And also you get to watch what you want. You don't have to watch what's on at the moment. You can choose what you want. You can binge watch something all weekend, but I don't recommend that. And also it's anytime, anywhere delivery. Media are delivered when and how the consumer wants it, not when and how the producer wants it. So YouTube, for instance, you can watch YouTube videos anytime you want to. They're always available at any time you want. So that's the small new media model that we're moving more and more towards. And I think it's exciting. It's an opportunity for us to be producers rather than just consumers. But it's also an opportunity for us as consumers to get more say about what we want. So in the new media thing, consumers are producers, and almost anyone can develop and distribute content. And that's a big part of this new media item, is that consumers are producers. We can be producers of multimedia. We can create our own media, and we can shape how people view us and view our world as well. And it brings new power that was never there before. So that's what this class is about, really, is becoming a producer of that media. And especially in the learning realm, you can become a producer of media for your students to help them to learn and to make sure that they see the world the way that you do and the way that they need to learn. And remember also we talked about the multimedia development process. So you begin with ideas, then you write a script about the ideas, about what will actually be presented in this media. You create a storyboard, which is a pictorial representation of the different scenes that you want to have in your media. Then you record it, you edit the recording and make sure it's polished and nice and no messes with that. And then you finish the process and make the media into a consumable format for your audience. And also we talked earlier in the semester as a reminder about the purposes of media. Purposes of media. So inform, instruct, entertain, and persuade are the 4 purposes of media. The first one is inform, and that just means to raise awareness about something. To instruct is media that helps us to teach to a specific objective. So inform informs us about something without necessarily a specific objective, but instruct is different. There are specific objectives with media that helps to instruct that we want students to meet. To entertain, most media that I think we experience is in this category. It tries to entertain us. And then to persuade, and it the media that comes in advertising, for instance, is persuasive media. It tries to persuade us to spend money and to buy certain products or services. So all of these media, all of these areas are purposes of media. I think, by the way, that the most noble one is to instruct and inform. The most important ones are to instruct and inform, to help us to learn more and to grow. And that's what we talked about in this class as well. So hopefully during the experience that you've had in this class, you have shifted from the left to the right here. You've shifted from being just a consumer of media to being more of a producer of media. And as you look and to try to see what types of media are out there to meet your purposes, and if you find that there isn't anything that's adequate, you can also produce some media that will be adequate. And likely if you produce media that fulfills a specific need that you have, it will also fulfill a need that somebody else probably has as well. And so it can become popular in that way. So sort of a parting thought with this class is be the producer, not just the consumer. Is to be the one to create. And you can shape the world of multimedia by doing this. You can shape people's opinions and help share information that you are familiar with and know by being a producer. And I don't mean that you're going to, create a movie that will change the whole world and everyone will view, but within the realms that we have, within the influence that we have, maybe it's your classroom or maybe it's a work group or a professional group of people that work with you, you can change those opinions, and that can be enough to really change the world one small step at a time. So be the producer, not just the consumer. All right, well, thank you for listening, and that's all for this week. I do wish you luck, and remember, do write me. If you have questions or issues that come up, write me and let me help you out. Have a good week.